Okay, so my mommy is Ambassador Dr. Chyna Bethley, founder of Rich University and Rich University Foundation, and she's going to be coming up here to give you guys the last bit of our gems. We have so much more in store for the rest of Pillow Talk, but this is going to be really, really good. I hope you guys got your pens and notepads because Miss Lucita dropped a little bit of a hint as to what she's going to be chatting about. So let's give a round of applause for none other than Ambassador Dr. Chyna Bethley.
All right.
Y'all give a round of applause for my baby. I am such a proud mommy. I'm telling you, just to see the glory of God in her life and how she's been able to blossom in an amazing way. It is just beautiful to watch. I remember the nights of her not knowing what she should do in her business, just the beginning of 2024. She was considering doing something completely different. She was feeling frustrated. And of course, as a mom, I want to give her the best guidance. And if she was feeling like she was done, okay, let's look into something else. Real estate, you know, event planning. There's so many things to do. But I love what she said. Do it again, but this time with God.
Yes.
Allowing him to be at the forefront, not just when there's a problem that arises. What if you go to him first? For him to give you the strategies, the concepts, for him to give you the words to speak, for him to tell you what rooms to go into. You just cannot lose when you're led by the Holy Spirit. So I love you, baby. Congratulations. I know the best is yet to come. I'm excited. Give yourselves a round of applause, please. You guys look absolutely amazing. And let's also give a round of applause for Dr. Betty. She did a big one with it. Hey, Dr. Betty, we love you, beautiful. This is absolutely amazing. Y'all listen, she said we're going to the White House. Because regardless to who's in the house, we are about to take dominion in 2024. She put the right people in position. She put the right people in the room so that we can have an advantage. Somebody say, I got the advantage. You got the advantage because you decided to show up tonight.
Yes.
You see, there were other people that were invited, but they chose to make an excuse. They chose to say, well, I can't come because of this and I can't come because of that. But because you're in the room, you have the advantage. You get to connect with the right people. You get to establish the right relationships. You get to hear the right information that you're going to apply. Somebody say, I'm applying this information.
Oh, yeah.
We're not going to just hear it. Because information alone is not powerful. The notes that you write down in your notebooks is not powerful unless you apply it. So even if it's just one thing that you heard tonight that you need to implement in your business, be committed to implementing that one thing in your business so that you can make global impact. We don't want to just have another new year where we like, this gonna be the year. It sounds good, but how many people said that for 2024? This my year right here. This gonna be the year, but what's gonna be different? And so I challenge you to apply the information. So as my daughter mentioned, before, I own a school, Rich University. It's a faith-based, accredited institution. And we're excited because Dr. Betty is one of our alumni. Dr. Lucita is one of our alumni. And we're excited about the global impact that we're making. But I want to maximize time tonight because we heard some incredible information. And one of the things that I can share in full transparency, 15 years ago, after dealing with Hurricane Katrina, because I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana, after dealing with breast cancer, because I was diagnosed right after high school, and even my daughter that was born 1 pound 8 ounces, I delivered her at 24 weeks. So when I say I have a relationship with the Holy Spirit, it's because we've been through some things together. And when I look to the left and when I look to the right, though there was relationships that shifted in my life, he was consistent and he remained the same. And on the other side of everything that I went through, I got better and better and better. And I realized that it was simply a test so that one day I can have a testimony to impact the lives of his children. And so what I can be very transparent with you about is that I was not always an 8-figure earner. I wasn't always a woman who had traveled to 20 countries around the world and had an opportunity to speak in front of tens of thousands of people. I can remember when an opportunity was presented to me in 2008. And when this opportunity presented itself, I didn't even have enough money to pay my light bill, let alone invest whatever the investment was going to be. But I was tired. I was frustrated. I was annoyed that as a grown woman, I did not have an extra $350 to change my life. So what I'm going to talk to you about is for the people who need some cash flow. Like I want to do all these things that I know that I need to do, but the truth is, when I'm having a conversation at night and I'm looking up at the ceiling and these things that I can't share with nobody, come on somebody, who's ready to be real tonight?
Right here.
Yeah, I got a business. Yes, it looks good. Yes, the angles on social media look good. Yes, I can package it well. Yes, the content is right. But at home, when it's just me, things that I can't share with nobody, the ache and the pain of not being able to provide sometimes the simple things. So when I come to you today, it's not as Ambassador Dr. Chyna and where I'm at now. I want to go to where I was so that we can take more of us with us. I had to make a decision to invest $350 into something and I didn't know what was going to happen. I had to make a decision that required me to lean not on my own understanding, nor can I lean on those that was in my environment, because those that was in my environment, we was all in the same boat. Anybody remember 2008, 2009? The recession had hit. I was a hairstylist at the time. Clients was losing their jobs, their homes, their minds. So money was funny, it was slow. And I was invited to a presentation. The only reason I went is because I didn't want to lose my client. She was telling me to come see this thing and invite me into the room. And all I knew was I needed some money now. I wasn't interested in no information. I needed money today. I didn't connect the two. She said, you need to come and see this. And by her seventh time asking me, I said, I'm going to go. And when I went in the room, I noticed the environment from the room that I was in as a hairstylist, where clients were not coming in and we were frustrated. We were underpaid. We weren't making any money. Every 3 seconds you heard this. Because it was a deep relief of a sigh. That's the frustration that you can't share with nobody, that escapes out of your very being. But when I went into this room, I was around people. The energy was different. The room was different. The smell of it was different. The look of it was different. I say men lie, women lie, but energy don't lie. You could walk in and see things that's just off in here. You could walk in and be like, something about this room right here. Like this room here. It's something about this room right here. They got a bunch of future millionaires in this room right here. It's something about this room right here. They got divine connections that's being established in this room right here. It's something about this room right here. Everybody needs to take a walk down this red carpet and get ready for the next level of life that God is about to take you to. It's up to you to receive it. Receive it. Because you're going to have to make some decisions differently. And the only reason that I could make decisions differently is because I was in a different environment. Your environment is so important. Don't let the opinions of other people manipulate you into staying where they're content with. Some people are content with you right where you at. Because if you ever found out who you really was, if you ever found out who you really were, then they will become intimidated of the gift that's on the inside of you. And so I say all of that to say is because a $350 decision that I made to take my light bill money. I went home, I told my husband, I said, babe, I heard this information, the people making money in there. They making money. He like, woman, what you talking about? I said, listen, I'm telling you, the people making money, and I did the best I could. But he wasn't in the room to see what I saw. He wasn't in the room to hear what I heard. So he didn't have the response that I did. And I couldn't articulate everything I just heard. I just heard the people say it, but I believe something on the inside of me said, this is it. You got to know when it's it, and you got to move when it's time to move. I walked away from him because he was like, listen, all I know is we need to get this light bill paid. He said, you done went in one of the rooms and let them people buck you up? And I was like, oh, Lord, maybe they did buck me up. You done let the people get you in. Went in one of the rooms and let the people get you. And I was like, damn, maybe he's right. Because here's the thing about poverty. I told you I was born and raised in New Orleans, and no matter where you from in New Orleans, if you ain't in poverty, you're on the corner from it. And poverty teaches you to be skeptical about anything except for a job. If it's a job, you're secure, but if it's anything outside of a job, it teaches you to be skeptical. It teaches you not to keep your hopes high. So basically it says keep your hopes low so you're not disappointed. That's ridiculous. And so I was wise enough to walk away from him and hold my head up and say, God, if this is real, I need you to show me a sign. And not not only did he show me a sign, he said, you got the money. I laughed. I said, wait a minute now. I don't know what I just heard, but that was okay, I see what that means. You got a sense of humor, because not only do I not have the money, I don't even have enough to pay my light bill. He said, you got the money, you just think it's for the electric company. Now, I know some of y'all real bougie in here. I see y'all with y'all fancy robes. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I ain't mad at that. But I knew something called an extension and a promise to pay. Now, y'all might not know about those things up in here, okay? You know them extensions where you promise to pay, but you don't have enough to pay and you don't make the promise, so they don't want to take the promise no more. Oh, I knew y'all was too bougie to understand what I was talking about. Well, we had did a promise to pay, an extension on a light bill, and we had too many extensions that we didn't make good on. So they said, look, Miss Bethley, either you got all of this money here or them lights gonna be off. But God is so faithful, because I had just enough money to get into that business. And because I'm from New Orleans, I said, maybe I could just flip this money. If I can just put the money in and flip the money, maybe I have enough money to pay the light bill and a little bit more money the next time for the next bills that come around. That one decision led me to $1 million. $1 million. I got into this company, I sacrificed the light bill, and I worked it like my life depended on it. I don't know that you would even know who I am today if I wouldn't have made that decision. The decision didn't come because I leaned on my own understanding nor anybody around me, but because I trusted the voice of the Holy Spirit. I trusted him scared. I trusted him without the resources. It didn't make sense in the reality, but his plan was far greater than mine. Today, I am not only the founder of Rich University, I lead the #1 community in the world for digital entrepreneurship. I put our community in a position to start investing into cryptocurrency since 2017. I invested in Bitcoin when it was $3,500 a coin. I created a song called Bitcoin Mommy in 2020 to educate while entertaining our community so that we were not left out. I'm privileged and blessed to sit at the tables with people that don't look like us, mostly Asian and Caucasian men from all over the world. I launched my coaching agency in Dubai. The opportunities that making the right decisions at the right time has led to didn't just bless me and my family. It has blessed and impacted nations and generations around the world. But somebody said, we just getting started. We just getting started. People ask all the time, Dr. Chyna, when you told me to invest into XRP when it was 7 cents, I didn't listen. Is it too late? When you told me to invest into Ethereum, I didn't know what you was talking about. When you wrote your ebook on Bitcoin, baby, breaking down 7 basic steps to get involved, I didn't buy it. But what can I do now? Somebody say community. It's not one cookie cutter thing that you can do. It depends on what your vision and your goal is. You need education. You need to be a part of community, not just for the profitability of it, but for the protection of it. You see, when you're a part of community, it protects you from being taken advantage of by the people who DMing you, talking about if you send me your money, then I'm going to do this. If you send it to me in Bitcoin, I'm going to do this. And you expected for them to actually send you money back. No, they took advantage of you not knowing that that's not the way it goes. So now is the time to gain access to the information and get connected with the communities so you know the strategy. One of the things that our community is doing, we trade in the financial markets. You see, I'm talking to people sometimes who don't have $10,000 to invest right now. Remember, they're laying in bed at night looking up at the ceiling with information that they can't share with nobody. They need some cash flow. So we've created an ecosystem where we have access to things like digital marketing. How many people on social media, by raise a hand? How many people scrolling on social media? No, ain't nobody on Facebook, ain't nobody on Instagram, ain't nobody on TikTok, ain't nobody on YouTube. Digital marketing is real. Ain't nobody on Google, right? AI technology. How many of you are hearing about AI technology? Right? How many of you are hearing about cryptocurrencies, the stock market? People are still traveling around. These are the most trending topics of 2025. How is your business involved to supply the demand? When I go to Google Trends and I look on Google Trends to see what are people looking for, because when I'm coaching my clients, I don't want them to just do what they're passionate about as a business if the business that they're passionate about is not in demand. If you're passionate about it, let me help you to get some money so you can take the money that you're making and then go do the things you're passionate about. But where are the demand? We are doing business. We're not doing emotions. Where are the demands so you can supply the demands? How is your business relevant for 2025? How are you using these technologies? So we've curated a community. We made it simple from baby boomers all the way down to Generation Z, all the way down to Generation Alpha. My son is 10 years old. He's like, Mama, can you, how do I trade this? I want to trade the Bitcoin when it drops and it go down. He get it from his daddy. So while we've invested in it, the benefit of it going up, my husband is trading whether it goes up or down. He has something called the nightclub where people from all over the world, from South Africa, from the island, all over the United States are on. In fact, just yesterday they made $44,000 in a day. Imagine being a part of a community that helps you with cash flow now because you developed a skill. So with that being said, that is my time. But I'm really excited. I'm excited that you're here. I'm excited that Dr. Betty's dreams and visions are coming to pass. I'm excited that the connections and collaborations that will be established from this experience will take us into 2025 in an amazing way. Those of you who have not invested into crypto, maybe it's simply because you don't know how, maybe because you don't know what, or maybe you don't have a strategy. So I'm on Instagram. Please be careful. I've helped people for over a decade. So there's a lot of impersonators out there. I typically don't DM you for nothing. I just don't have the time. So if you're not following my right page, and even if you are, if somebody DM you and it don't sound like the conversation, even if it sounds like the conversation we have now, make sure that you're following the right page. It's CHYNABETHLEY on Instagram, on TikTok, on Facebook, on YouTube. Chyna with the Y. CHYNABETHLEY. There's no underscores, there's no periods, there's no dots, there's no numbers, there's no 2 E's, no L's, Y, none of that. I'm telling you now, if you search my name on these platforms, thousands of impersonators pop up because of how many people we've helped for over a decade. With that being said, I want to say congratulations to you in advance. I'm looking forward to celebrating you. We have our next Imagination Conference coming up 2025. You don't want to miss it at Chateau Elan. Dr. Betty will be in the room. I'm sure Dr. Lucinta will be in the room. And I'm really excited to celebrate you. God bless you guys. Have a phenomenal night. I'll turn it back over to my dad. We love you, Jay. Y'all give a round of applause to Jay, guys.
Wow. You know, I know she's my mom, but she really does wow me sometimes. I was there for most of the stories, and I'm like, what? 2008. No, but seriously, guys, though, like, if there's anything that I can testify to, if any of you guys have children, raise your hand for me. Children? Small children? Children my age? Okay, cool. So, my POV from this situation is, my mom was a hairstylist, and I would go to the shop with her all the time. And I would watch her do her thing. I didn't know really too much about what's going on. This was my place I'd be after school. And I remember there being a dramatic shift in my life when she decided to make that decision in 2008. And it opened up my mind from a young child to witness a side of wealth that I had never heard nor seen before. Because those same rooms that she was in, I actually got a seat at the table too. I was little, so like, yeah, she can come in, she cute. You know, and I'm sitting here at these tables and I'm learning this information that I don't know what to do with because I'm 8, but growing up in that environment has now instilled a specific perspective in my mind. So if you have children and you want to build that next generation, I have a really big responsibility because I got to come up to at least what she's done in her life so that what she did does not go in vain. So you want to make sure that you put your children in position to be that next generation, to do something that you have done and do something even better than that. Because did y'all know that, unfortunately for us, as Black people, we are the only people who don't leave anything behind for the next generation, which is why we keep getting it out the mud every 30, 45, 50 years. We keep going from the same things that our great-grandfathers did, whereas there's other people who get to live like heirs. And I want you guys to put your next generation in position. Continue to be in these rooms. Don't leave this room and say, oh, I sat at the table and I did good. I want you to network and talk to people. Get to know somebody new. Use that same social media that people are making thousands and thousands of dollars from. I told y'all I started my hair extension company in July, and I've done over $60,000 from that, from just posting online, from an Etsy account. So use the same social media to connect with somebody who can be the connecting point to your next step.